What is good, Black World? Today we're going to discuss my top 5 reasons on why you're not finishing those books that you spent your hard-earned money on. Stay tuned. As I said in the intro, we're going to talk about those books that you might have on your shelf that you may have started, but you don't really intend on finishing. You might be feeling a little guilty and you might have them up on your bookshelf, but me and you might know that you don't really like the title and you are just out that money. So here are my top 5 reasons why you're not finishing these books. Number 1, you picked the dud. Have you ever picked a book where you read the front and back cover, but maybe you didn't have time to read the introduction or research the title? When I first started reading, I used to force myself to complete the book, cover to cover, page to page. But I find that I was wasting a lot of time in doing this, and the reason I was doing it was for bragging rights. So I can say, yeah, every book on that bookshelf I read. But at the end of the day, it was like pulling teeth. Each paragraph, each sentence, each page was difficult to get through, and all I got at the end was bragging rights. I was wasting time that could have been devoted to reading titles that would bring more to my table. Number 2, the book was poorly written. Have you ever came across a book that was poorly written? I mean, it seemed like it was written by a 9th grader who was trying to make a word count for their English midterm. Very. Or books that repeat the same sentence over and over trying to prove a point. These books are draining. These are the titles I dislike the most, because not only do I feel like I'm out of the money, I feel like I was misled by the title. Some books that are on the fringe category, what I mean by fringe is like books that put forth a extreme idea, are more prevalent to have grammatical errors and sentence errors. Do yourself a favor. Don't push yourself through these books unless you really like the idea that the author is putting forth. Number 3, the book has a hidden agenda. Have you ever come across a book that it sounded good, you read the introduction, you started moving your way through the meat and potatoes of the book, but the author starts slipping in little ideas that don't align with your morals and values? I came across a title not too long ago where I loved everything about the book, front and back. But then as I started moving into the book, the author started trying to slip in little things and push an agenda that I wasn't on board with. So needless to say, I stopped reading that book. I did not finish. Honestly, I felt misled about that title and I was out $16. Number 4, someone gifted you a book, but the book that they bought you, you had no intentions on reading yourself. This has happened a lot. I've had friends and family members who know that I enjoy reading, so they go to the extent to purchase a book that they think that I would like, but honestly, I would never read on my own. While their heart is in the right place, most readers would rather have you get them a gift card, maybe to Amazon or to a bookstore, where they can go research and pick a book out for themselves, because this process is something that readers usually like to enjoy. Number 5, you picked a book that was well below your understanding, or you picked a book that the earlier you would maybe enjoy. So the first part, you picked a book that was well below your understanding. Maybe you picked a book that the 20-year-old or maybe the 18-year-old or maybe even the teenager in you might have liked when you first started reading. But now that you're 25, now that you're 30, you might not feel the same way about the title, or you might know so much about what you're reading about, it's boring. This happens sometimes. Don't fault yourself on this. Sometimes we pick books that our earlier selves would enjoy, but as humans, we are always growing and changing. To stagnate is to die, so your mind state, your goals in life should and are always shifting. This leads me into the book recommendation that I'm going to give you guys. The book is called Under the Affluence by Tim Wise. Now, I've read about 25% of this book, and the book is extremely well written. What I mean is, Tim Wise talks about the growing inequality gap that we are facing here in America. The rich keep getting richer and the poor keep getting poorer. Why I chose to stop reading this book is because I'm aware of a lot of the ideas that are already in the book. When I picked the book up, I was kind of in a rush. I was at a black bookstore that I always frequent, Marcus Books in Oakland, and whenever I'm there, I just try to grab titles. Because 1, I like supporting black people, and 2, a lot of the books that are in that store are fire. So I really almost never miss, but this one was a miss for me. The book wasn't a miss for me because of the title or what it was talking about. The book was a miss for me because it no longer aligned with the goal. So I'm well aware of the wealth gap in America. I'm also well aware that black people were excluded in the wealth making activities in America when it was booming. We had slavery, we had economic castration, we had Jim Crow, we were unable to buy houses, we were unable to generate wealth. So we have an extremely large wealth gap here in America today. But I'm on a path of changing that, and you guys are on the path of changing that with me. That's why I feel like you're here. So with that, what good does it do me to read a book in which, one, I'm already well aware of the ideas, and two, the ideas are not going to serve in the goal that I'm trying to accomplish. I'm reading books that serve a goal, and you should be too. Now, if you're reading just for fun or entertainment, that's cool. That might be a different thing. But I usually read for knowledge, skills, and things that I can add to my repertoire. These were my top 5 reasons why you're not finishing those books on your shelf. Don't feel bad about it. Don't wear it as a sense of pride that you read every single title. Do your best to pick books that are aligned with your goals, that are pushing you and propelling you forward to a goal you want to meet. Be sure to like and subscribe so we can grow together. And once again, peace.